Right now, people in Mount Helix are fighting to keep two convicted sexually violent predators out of their neighborhood. A hearing is going on right now that will determine if the first of these two men will be placed in a home that neighbors say is just a few feet from a daycare. ABC 10 News anchor Mary McKenzie spoke to neighbors who went to court to raise their objections.
These are the neighbors who have come to court downtown ahead of this placement hearing for a sexually violent predator. They say this amounts to a major mistake for a judge to even consider allowing someone with Douglas Badger's background to live so close to children, to daycares and schools.
They've put it in a densely populated urban area across the street from two licensed daycare centers. Next door neighbors have children, and it's within a mile of 5 elementary schools.
Judge Theodore Weathers started by saying this is an emotionally charged type of hearing. He said he heard from many people who are upset about what's being considered. His only job, he explained, is to rule whether this property on Horizon Hills Drive in the Mount Helix neighborhood is an appropriate location for Douglas Badger to live. The home has been rented to Liberty Healthcare, which would oversee any sexually violent predators who might be placed there, with staff and GPS ankle bracelets. The judge said he viewed the property, drove around the neighborhood, and read every letter and email that was submitted. Among those to talk was County Supervisor Joel Anderson. He mentioned that 4-bedroom home has been proposed to house now a third sexually violent predator. He objected to the placement of what he says is 67% of all SVPs in the county in District 2, calling the area a dumping ground. Badger was convicted of sexual assaults dating back to the 1970s. The other SVP is Merle Wakefield, whose hearing will be in May. He was convicted in 1981 of a lewd act with a child under 14. The Department of State Hospitals has recommended both men be released. Neighbors talked about the proximity to daycares, schools, and homes with children. They sent us these pictures of a silent protest held last week with just a fraction of the kids they say who live nearby lined up in front of the home in question. Some of those neighbors have now filed a lawsuit against the county fighting against these placements.
We fear for the safety not only of the children, is also the safety every single person in our neighborhood.
The judge will rule at a later date as to Badger's placement. The other SVP's hearing scheduled for May. Mary McKenzie, ABC 10 News.